Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Here.
Tackett,
Here.
Daniels,
Here.
Duff,
Here.
Templin.
Here. Okay, approval of minutes. Our April 17th public hearing meeting minutes. Zach never showed up, did he? Okay, you got it. Okay, public hearing. This is in regards to several ordinances, 595, 596, 603, and 604. There was no public comment on any of these ordinances. Any question in regards to the minutes from the public hearing? If not, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the public hearing?
I'll make the motion, sir.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Tackett,
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Templin.
Aye. And we have the April 17th council meeting minutes. Anyone see any issues with the minutes from the April 17th meeting? Any changes we need to make?
Make a motion, we accept them as written.
Okay. Mr. Takis made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second, sir.
Mr. Gillum seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Tackett,
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Templin.
Aye. Recognize citizens, guests, and visitors. Do I have anyone with anything to come before the board? You're next. Yeah, I'll get to you just a second, Dusty. I don't think. Okay, no one with anything to come before the board. Now I have the Shiners Boot Drive application. We're good now, Dusty.
Okay. First off, I'd like to give you all a booklet that we give out for
Thank you.
donations that goes directly to Children's Shriners Hospital. Oak Creek Lodge has always supported Bella Trine Temple paper sale. And,
Is there another part to this?
we've done this roadblock for years here in Lake City, Rocky Top. It's Rocky Top now, I'm kind of hard to switch gears from Lake City to Rocky Top. But anyway, the application is for Coal Creek Lodge for us to do a roadblock for the paper sale for Cabela Shriners and Children's Hospital. Like I say, we do this every year, and I knew you all had changed some ordinances, so that's the reason I'm here, because I want to do everything right. And I have read all the requirements that it takes, safety vests, orange cones, no one under 18. Of course, there's no one under 18 anyway.
No.
If there are, they're home, most of them are. But we'll set up at North Main and 441, Sunday the 18th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. That's what we've always done. So,
June 18th or
no,
May 18th?
May 18th, yeah.
Okay.
This coming Sunday.
And then your rain dates,
And the rain date's May
25th.
25th. But I think it's gonna be a pretty Sunday, so I don't think it'll
Yeah.
rain, so. But anyway, I'm asking for y'all's blessing for us to do that roadblock this year. And that's combined by the
they
rules and regulations of
They
Rocky.
fall under the 501. Anyone have any discussion in regards to this?
If nobody has any discussion, I'll go ahead and make the motion that we approve.
Okay.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second.
I second.
Okay, we got 2 seconds.
3
Do we have a third?
We're all in favor.
Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Tackett,
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Templin.
Aye. You're good, Mr. Carroll.
I thank you all so much. And
Very
I'll
well.
be here again next year, so,
Okay.
because I'm kind of in charge of the paper sale for Anderson County. Lucky me. Thank you all. And like I say, there's 3 or 4 different ways you can contribute money. There's a QR code on those booklets now. We started last year on the papers and then this booklet, and then to where it goes directly to the paper sale account at Cabela. So if anybody asks any questions, you can tell them, hey, QR code it.
Okay.
Gentlemen, ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, sir.
Okay. Mayor's report. Okay, I'm probably gonna anger some people with this. It's in regards to the blessing box over here on the corner of Chestnut and Creek Street. There's a couch sitting over there beside it. This happens all the time. People use that as an excuse to throw their furniture out. We're removing the couch and the blessing box, and we're gonna keep the blessing box gone. There's churches that do that. Matter of fact, Mr. Sharp's church right there in the old West Side Market, they have a food pantry. Now, I don't know what their schedule is, but they open up for people. I'm tired of seeing that area used as a dumping ground.
I've seen clothes, bags of clothes ripped open. I've seen couches,
Well, and
mattresses.
yes. So if anyone has any question of where the blessing box is gone, the mayor had it gone. It's on me.
If I may add something from the police department to add to that, yesterday Deputy Chief McGee and I dealt with a gentleman over there at the blessing box. He needed to go with us for other reasons, but he was there to drop off a donation and wanted us to finish it. In his cooler, he said he had some meat and some eggs, and it was rotten. I mean, it's endangering people if that's put out there as well, which goes along with your
Well,
reasons, sir.
I understand why people want to do this. I'm totally sympathetic with that. But theory is one thing, execution is in reality is a totally different subject. Reality is this is a mess. I've gotten complaints from Mr. Clowers down on Chestnut where all the garbage that people pick up, the stuff at the blessing box, and by the time they get to the end of Chestnut Street, what they don't want, they've thrown out in the middle of the street or they've thrown in one of Mr. Clowers' yards down through there. And going back to, people have been using this as an excuse to dump everything in the world. Okay, what's somebody want with a wet couch? You think somebody else is gonna come pick this up? And it's on railroad property, and I know no one has permission from CSX Railroad to set up that. And it's been burnt a couple of times. There's a lot of problems. They need to work with the churches if that's what they want to do. Work with Derek Sharp there at his church with their food pantry. They do a good job of serving the public. But that blessing box is gone, and I'm the one that says it's gone, and it's going to stay gone as long as I have a say in it. And that's all I have on that. Okay, committee. Council member reports. Planning Commission.
We meet next Tuesday, sir. We've not
Right.
met this month.
This is one of those odd months where the third Tuesday comes before the third Thursday. So our Planning Commission is next Tuesday. Recreation Committee.
Did Maria copy her notes? I guess she got out of here too quick. Johnny Touchton will be doing a benefit concert at the ball field, and we need to mention June the 14th. We talk about officer services later on or something, or? Okay,
We're good.
okay.
Then we talked about 4th of July.
Still need input on, we got a few vendors coming in. It'd be good if coming up with some more vendors, and I heard Elvis is back in town. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, I think that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. General government, city managers report.
On the Parks and Recs grant, we had to adjust the engineering cost on it. When they did the grant, they had estimated $100,000, and it was basically $56,000 off, so they had to just go into the grant and adjust the numbers inside the grant. Then, funeral home is finally purchased, city owns it. And Cannon and Cannon did their walkthrough on the sewer project with Frank. So they're doing punch list. They still have the manhole on Allred to do and one on 8th Street to do. But they're also working on their punch list to get it. And they sent me an email today, 17 pages, so they've got quite a bit to do.
Are they gonna, we extended,
Yes, well,
They gonna
tomorrow's
make
their
that-
last day, but they had rain delays and rain weather, so they'll probably, hopefully sometime next week. Then, next month, our city council meeting meets on city holiday. We need to move that to the Tuesday before, which will be the 17th. That's all right with everybody. That will be a Tuesday.
Anyone have a problem with the 17th?
I don't.
And then, the other thing is, we need to have a special called meeting on the 27th, to finalize the budget. It'll be a public hearing at 5:30, and then, a special called meeting just to finalize.
At
the
6.
budget. And I think we might have a few other items we need to talk about.
you said the 27th?
27th, it's the day after Memorial Day. That way, that will give us time to get the budget into the comptroller's office. If they got any questions, we can answer them, have an answer by, the June.
Right, you have another meeting in June.
Sit back in before July 1st. Speaking of Memorial Day, City Hall will be closed that day on the 26th. And then the Tuesday, we will pick up everybody's trash. We got both garbage trucks working, so we're gonna try to see how that works, picking up everybody's trash on Tuesday
In one day.
in one day. Veterans Breakfast is this Saturday at 8 o'clock at the community center. And then, we're gonna have to look for fire chief vehicle. His went down, and he's also the codes guy, and it's hard to do code. I told him I was gonna give him a bicycle, just ride around town on it. And I told him,
Riding your basket.
I said, well, I'll get you an electric bike.
You see more that way.
So I'm gonna be looking for him, a vehicle.
Do we know what happened?
He went in to start it. and mowed
The
it.
engine's locked up, and they don't know why it's
Okay,
locked
so
up.
Chucky's probably not looked into
Yeah,
it.
Chucky's looked at it.
Oh.
Chucky's the one that said.
I don't know.
He thought it might have been the starter that blocked up, and he looked at it yesterday. And he said,
How many miles does that thing have on it?
About 180.
Yeah.
And some of those miles of maintenance weren't what they should have been.
Oh, no. Those 30,000-mile oil changes.
Yeah,
So I'll get bids out probably tomorrow, and probably a special call meeting, I'll
Have some numbers.
And have some numbers and everything. So, that's all I got.
Okay, financial report.
your vehicle.
vehicle is second week of June. He
Well,
said
it went
they-
from April,
It went from April to May to now June, and he said if they don't stop working on it, he said they're supposed to start next week. He was looking at it when I was talking to him today, and he said, Mike, he said it's a government issue. He said I said, I know, they don't get in a hurry for government issues. So,
so you're saying they've not even started building it yet?
those,
Sorry to back up, but anybody thought about engine replacement, or is just he'd need a new vehicle? Is that, or,
Engine
he needs
replacement.
to be-
okay, okay,
And the way it is now, engine replacement, you're anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000, and you're throwing it into a 15-year-old vehicle, which sometimes that's a good it works out, but
Right.
I don't think with that particular vehicle, it's kind of reached the end of its life expectancy.
It's been rode hard and put up wet.
Yes, very hard.
And he's having trouble out of it left and right.
okay.
You know, it's starting to have a lot of electrical problems. And they just keep replacing things and throwing money in it, and something else burns up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, a financial report.
General budget, you can see we're 83% with budget. Our revenue is at 84%. Everything else is in line except the fire, and we know that was the grant money. The reason he's out of whack, and we'll fix that before the end of the year, where he'll come back in line. Everything else was around where we're supposed to be. Water fund, you can see we're 88, 96%. Sewer collection and sewer treatment is out of whack. We just spent a lot of money. I mean, hopefully we can get that in line when we look at the numbers to amend everything.
And we've had a lot of bad luck with the sewer, with pumps, burning pumps up, having to rent pumps that cost $1,500 a week to rent.
Is the red pump still on rent, or?
It is
Until Morgan completely
until Morgan
finishes.
does the all red job, it's gonna stay on.
Because,
I don't know
yeah,
about that.
our luck is if we change that pump now, we put
They put the new.
they put the new pump in the lift station,
Yeah.
a new rebuilt pump in the lift station. If we get off this rental pump, the way our luck's been running on that lift station, they're gonna drop something in when they do this manhole up here on All Red, and it's gonna get sucked into our new rebuilt pump and tear the guts out of it, and now we're down $10,000-$15,000 again, and having overflows until we get it fixed. So with this rental pump, it'll suck that stuff up. It won't hurt it.
Would it be good for the city? You know, first question does it have to be that big of a pump? And also, looks like thinking about, once they're done, what about backup plan? Or should the city buy a smaller?
We're looking. It
We've
has to
looked
be
at
that
that.
size.
Oh, okay.
We need
Yeah.
that size, and we are looking.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they're around in 50 to 70,000.
Yes.
And diesel fuel is eating us alive, keeping that thing fed. It burns a lot of fuel, But it would be nice if we had an emergency backup pump like that. Because not only at that lift station, but there's other instances, since I've been on the board, that we could have used a transfer pump like that, bypassing a section of line that was having a problem,
Right.
you know.
Street aid and drug fund, they're basically no change, in those. That's all I got.
That's all you got? Okay, we've got our first pool adjustment of the year. Miss Donna Hall over on Willow. 101.71. These are the only adjustments we're doing now, are for pools, since we went with the insurance on the water and sewer. Do I have a motion to approve the sewer? Do I have a motion to approve the sewer adjustment for Miss Donna Hall for a total of $101.71?
Make the motion.
Okay.
Second.
Mr. Tackett made the motion, Mr. Duff seconded. Call roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Tackett,
Aye.
Daniels,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Templin.
Aye. Okay. Monthly water loss, 56%. With in-house usage, 43%, still way high. And now they repaired a leak today that probably had a significant impact on that water loss. That was in front of David's Apartments. That was a 2-inch line that it appears to have been leaking for a long time. And I think there was another one they were looking at that possibly could have impacted that. So hopefully that repair will start bringing these losses back down.
And so at the small ball field, there was a hydrant, little spigot hydrant leaking, and that got fixed. And then also,
All that adds up. It
right,
adds up.
splash pad, holding tank,
Yeah, it had a
potentially.
problem with burning through a lot of water.
right. I think that fluid, that ball valve, did it rupture or, but got fixed or?
It got fixed, and then he got to thinking how he did it, that he thought, Mike, he called me yesterday and he said, he said, I fixed it where it wouldn't go through the ball valve. He said, but I'm thinking now, the ball valve won't cut it off. And so he was going to check it today, he didn't.
Because I think the shut-off was I think when he reached his hand under there, I think it was before the ball valve.
Yeah.
So that should
They
have,
put that one up on top of the ball valve.
Correct.
He was gonna put another one out to where it wouldn't go through the ball valve. But then he got to thinking that he wouldn't shut it off.
The conversation I had with him, he was worried about the float valve.
Yes, that's what we're
It's got an
talking.
automatic float valve in there,
Yeah.
and that where we installed this ball valve, it may have affected that float valve doing its job.
Yes.
That's the question I had about it too.
Yeah, and I don't know where they're at on that, but they're working it.
Yeah.
They're working it.
and so the thing is when the works on the lines and everything, it's like a fluid master in the back of your commode, and there's sediment in there, so that was, anytime the splash pad is just idle but running, water trickles into that holding tank. Now, when you turn the splash pad on, which drains that water level a little bit, then it starts running more, not to full capacity, but it just continually flows city
Keep
water.
that tank to a certain level.
Right,
They did clean the tank. They drained all the water out and got all the sediment and stuff out.
and looked at the intake screen or whatever, and,
I said,
okay. Oh,
I don't know.
Well, if you just need a diaper,
I know who.
I'll make you a deal.
I just want the thing fixed because.
It ran today. They
Yeah,
had it running to half a day today. I told them run it to lunch.
they ran it yesterday too,
Yeah,
because we went by yesterday.
and,
And so did you get my pictures on the chlorinator?
yes,
Okay.
I've got the order.
Okay, police report.
Good evening, council. Sorry, I tried to be prepared and drop the ball. For the calendar month of April, your police department made 32 arrests. They conducted 233 traffic stops. Out of those, they issued 64 citations and 39 written warnings. They completed 63 incident reports and responded to 539 calls for service. We didn't have any overdoses reported to us during the calendar month of April. For personnel and training, Officer Markham is about halfway complete with his field training with Sergeant Perkins. Officer McClurg resigned and returned to Campbell County Sheriff's Department. He had been with us for about 7 months and went back there. Review of applicants for hiring is underway for that vacancy. We're anticipated to hire a non-certified officer within the next few weeks. We posted about that and gotten a good response. This new officer is expected to start the police academy in October 2025, which means we'll have some time to do in-house training before then. For grants, the police department was awarded the overtime grants from the TBI Dangerous Drugs Task Force that I talked about last month. That's the ones that pay for overtime for investigations into methamphetamine or heroin operations. And then whenever for next fiscal year, the person that we send to the academy, upon their successful completion, will get a $12,000 award from the state for having recruited that officer. Internal procedures and equipment, we ordered tire deflation devices with drug funds after the amendment the council approved, and we're awaiting delivery on those. For our accreditation process with the state accreditation program, there's no changes in it yet, and we're not up to the next benchmark yet. Cases of significance, we had 3 instances of vehicles that fled. That's changed to 4 because we had another one today that fled north on 75. Getting the spike strips will give us some more tools to be able to mitigate that safer, other than just chasing them until they run out of gas or crash into someone, which we don't like that outcome. 2 of those 3 that had ran had underlying offenses of DUI and drugs, and both offenders were identified and apprehended later by other agencies for Rocky Top Police Department. The 3rd was a stolen vehicle with the suspect identified and arrest is pending. We've seen an increase in shoplifting out at our Dollar General on Laker Lane, and also some pushback on the employees there for reporting it, so we're helping them and doing investigations and making cases and arrests on those for harassing the employees for reporting the shoplifting.
Yeah, they need to be very unhappy with the way this turns out.
Yes. Yes. There's a whole host of legal things that we can do there and put pressure on them, and they will know that that's not welcome
Do it.
conduct in our town. Yes, sir. Drug offense continue to include heroin, methamphetamine, and suspected fentanyl like we've seen for years since those epidemics have hit. For our budget, we're, by my calculations, the way that I calculate, 84.6% through the fiscal year, and we spent 84.4%. One item I didn't put on here that I failed to do so is Fire Chief Braden, myself, went to E911, their last board meeting, to discuss some assistance for where we pay for the dispatch services from Anderson County Sheriff's Department. Commissioner Vice supported us along with others, and they gave us a one-time grant of $18,000 to offset that for next fiscal year, which was much appreciated, and the support was much appreciated. The last item that I have, council, is a requested action item under our city ordinance 13-105, which is public nuisance. I've researched, and I believe I'll get with the city recorder and double check that this is the appropriate mechanism for dealing with the public nuisance. I'd like to ask the council to consider at your special call meeting on the 27th, or whenever you determine is the appropriate time to consider reviewing the AJ's Automotive at 1027 South Main Street. Throughout the city, we've got some complaints. I don't want to get into the details and maybe prejudice the council against the business before they have a chance to appear at a public hearing after being given notice. But for the city council to consider taking action under that ordinance with them if they do determine that the business is a public nuisance. In general, we've had issues with traffic. We've had issues with the parking and complying with codes. Codes officials been down there. I've been down there. I've taken message from the city recorder down there. And it seems, from my perspective, very difficult to get things complied, and it's disrupting the community.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fire report. Month of April, 27 EMS calls, 2 vehicle fires, 2 trash fires, 3 unauthorized burnings, 1 authorized burning, 4 false alarms, 2 lift assist, 5 motor vehicle accidents, 2 service calls, and 2 assist the police, for a total of 50 calls for the month of April. That's 192 for the calendar year. And I know the chief is working on a grant to replace our breathing apparatus. Hopefully that's going to be successful. It's about $175,000, is that?
I think so.
15. They're looking at buying 15 MSA breathing apparatus, which the the fire industrial complex is kind of what, is just like the military industrial complex now. It's crooked as hell.
Exactly.
Breathing apparatus is over $10,000 a pop now. The cities, several, I don't know, about 5 or 6 years ago, they bought new breathing apparatus. They went with a brand that nobody uses. There's nobody in the area that is the Draeger brand because it was cheaper than MSA. MSA is like General Dynamics. They got a corner on the market. Everybody uses MSA breathing apparatus. This grant would enable us to not just replace what we have, but increase how many we have. How many breathing apparatus do we have right now?
We have 6 on engine 2 and 4 on engine 1. We have a lot of surplus breathing apparatus that are no longer up to the NFPA standard.
Yeah, I don't care anything about NFPA standards.
But-
This would be great.
Interoperability,
15.
I mean, we're one of the only agencies that has Draeger, so it's gonna be pretty big when we change that.
Yeah, but hopefully that's gonna work out. And save the city a considerable amount of money, upgrading these packs. Yeah, that's all I have on the fire.
I guess, is that grant 100% grant?
Not-
55%,
Yeah.
95%.
Yeah, it would, ours, Ian, would be like $7,500 or something.
Okay.
Which is really unbelievable. You see these grants on the safety side of the house, on fire and police. You don't see these grants on the public works side of the house, where they're paying 90% or 100%. Well, this would be great, that he can get that through. Public Works report. 54 tons of garbage for the month of April. 2 3/4 tons of brush, which I know the city of Oliver Springs had our brush truck there for a few weeks. Mowed and weed throughout town, taking care of the ball fields, spraying weed killer. Worked the on and off ramps, cleaning that mess up. Trimmed trees on 8th and Main, and CDL training for our employees is continuing. Hopefully that'll bear fruit in the next few months. And we can get Class B CDLs for several of our employees. Water and sewer, a lot of repairs and replacements. They're working with Morgan. Morgan's wrapping their job up here. Jetted 3 sewer lines and 2 storm drains. Had a issue with the pump station on Old Mill Road. Installed the rebuilt pump over at the main lift station on Industrial Park. Okay, ordinances and resolutions. First reading of new ordinances, 9, second and final, 9, resolutions, 9. Are we nearly done here? Okay. I'm used to seeing 7 o'clock or later. New business, Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System, minimum employee rate increases. Okay, what are we dealing with here?
They went up.
TCRS has went up. And I'm looking 7.78%, is that what?
That's what they went up to.
I included the current rate in the back, 7.47.
Okay. So this is this an increase on both us and the employees, or just an increase on us?
On us.
Just on us.
Yeah, on the city.
And that will, so right now it's 44.51?
7.47%.
No, I'm looking at, this total PVB, present value benefits is,
I don't think that's us.
okay, I'm trying to figure out what's this gonna cost us? More than what we're paying right now? What's the number on that?
I don't know.
It's 0.3%. It just varies.
Point, Yeah, it's different for every employee, so it would have to be figured.
Yeah.
But roughly 0.3%.
It's 0.3% of the total payroll, is that what that is?
That's the way I would, yes, I believe that's correct.
I'll give you that figure at the next meeting.
Okay, employees, annualized salary, $978,884. And then we have a change here up to $1,065,000. I don't. Okay, that's why I'm sitting here. June 1st, 24 through June 30th, 25 is this one, in July 1st, 25 to June 30, 26. It's showing an increase in salaries annualized from 978 to $1,065,000 to $1,066,000. Right, our liabilities are increasing because of the folks that are reaching retirement age. Now, get us the numbers on that, on exactly what the difference is gonna be. Because that'll have to be accounted for in our new budget. Like everything else is going up.
Well, it's accounted for.
Huh?
It's already full.
Yeah. See just what the numbers are. Unfinished business. Want to thank Commissioner Val for coming to our meeting tonight. Good to see you.
Thanks, sir, you too.
Is there anything else to come before the board? If there's nothing else to come before the board, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion. Nobody else is going to.
Do I have a second?
I
I
second.
have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. Commissioner Daniels is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.